This is the J-Hawks Sports Network, powered by Heartland Technology.
All right, welcome aboard to the J-Hawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology as we are set to go for Game 2. Boys basketball tonight. Hudson coming in for Jesup's home opener and season opener as we are broadcasting live from the very different team after being in the championship game last year down at Des Moines. Hudson, the team that knocked Jesup out of getting to Des Moines. But there's some players missing from last year's team. But we got some different players on the floor that we're going to, I think, see a very similar circumstance for what we saw in the girls is Joe Smines trying to figure out which lineup, which personnel on the floor is going to click for him.
Yeah, I mean, let's just point out the elephant not in the room any longer.
Jack Miller. 4 years on the floor. It's hard to forget about him.
Everybody is wondering, oh my goodness, what are we going to do without Jack? You know, life can't go on without Jack. Life can go on without Jack. That's no disrespect to Jack Miller. Phenomenal player, still is. He's playing at Upper Iowa this year, having a really nice season. But this Jayhawk team has still got some really nice players on it. Treptow, you know, he's a starting point guard for us, but that's a kid that can play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, if he gets a mismatch, he can take his guy down low, feed him the ball inside. You got Vogel out there, another senior, and then help me out, our other senior on the other side.
Oshner. Are you looking at Oshner or are you looking at somebody else? Vogel?
No, Moore. Sorry, Nick
there
Moore.
You go.
If you rewatch this, Nick Moore, you know, Nick Moore's a speed demon. He was fast last year. I think he's gotten even faster this year. So we got plenty of talent out there, and quite frankly, I think we're going to surprise some people this year, but only time will tell.
Let's turn things over. Starting lineup and Dan Fox.
Number 2, Jackson Nesby. A junior, number 3, Anderson Yoder. A senior, number 4, Kean Krill. A sophomore, number 10, Blake Delagardelle. And now for our Jayhawks, a senior, number 2, Paxton McCone. A senior, number 5, Nick Moore. A senior, number 10, Ryan Carretto. A senior, number 11, Landon Vogel. And a sophomore, number 44, Parker Masteller. The Pirates are coached by Sean Leonard. The Jayhawks are coached by Joe Smines.
All right, get our starting lineups in from Dan Fox. Luke, repeat those if you could.
Yeah, for the Hudson Pirates, we've got a 6'5" freshman forward, Tade Roberts, a sophomore guard, number 2, Jackson Nesby. Again, I can't hardly see these, Nate. A junior guard, number 3, Anderson Yoder. A senior guard, number 4, Klein Krill. And a sophomore guard, number 10, Blake Delagardelle. And then for your Jayhawks, a senior guard, number 2, Paxton McCone. Senior forward, number 5, Nick Moore. Senior guard, 10, Ryan Treptow. Senior forward, number 11, Landon Vogel. And then a sophomore forward, number 42, in the middle, Parker Masteller.
Yeah, you've got a different makeup out there. You've got some guys that had some experience from last year. Realistically, Treptow and Vogel. Masteller getting some action, McCone getting some action later in games. And if you've not heard, we did a pregame interview with head coach Joe Smines at halftime of the girls' game. If you're wanting to pause this and go back and listen to what he had to say and rejoin us, you certainly could. We'll hear from head coach Jordan Conrad of the girls' team about their loss and their season here at halftime of this. But Hudson looking to get on the board for the first time this season in this game, and they do, and count that in for Krill. 3 points. 7:19 to go. Vogel on that far side. Tries to break on that baseline. Mastetler came in off that fresh soft, and then JV team last year worked his way up, and Vogel he responds with a 3 to tie things up. But Mastetler works hard in that offseason. He was out with a shoulder injury and did not play in the scrimmage over the weekend.
Yeah, and he's a good-looking, athletic kid. Stands 6'4", just a sophomore. He's still learning. He's still getting his confidence, still figuring out how to use his body, to his benefit. But early on here, we've got Vogel and now Paxton Moore with a three-pointer on the near side here.
So aggressive play out there. Got a good combination of where they want to be. Senior Layton on this floor right now. And a straight-on shot, rolls away, pulled down for Mastetler, and Treptow will bring that up the floor. Crace crossing that midcourt with some aggressive, gets that ball knocked out of his hands. Robert gets a hand on it, comes out of bounds.
That ball's going to be brought in from Treptow, and I feel kind of bad. I neglected to call Paxton McCone out as a senior when I was when we were doing the pregame there. I had him as a junior for some reason. He's older than I thought. So as you said, very senior-laden team. We're starting 4 seniors and a sophomore.
Nick Moore, he's going to be, as I was kind of watching the scrimmage over the weekend, I'm like, we might have our next garbage man, Luke, on hand with Nick
you're right.
Moore.
You're right. And, man, he is Treptow deep 3. He is just so fast, Nick Moore.
Krill comes down low after passing that off. Now Roberts sees Mastetler trying to block his way, trying to take that ball away. McCone, a quick dart out is going to draw him a foul.
He tried to hold himself up there, but his momentum took him into the Hudson Pirate there.
The Pirates with it, trailing 6-3. It's been a game of three-pointers. Pax covering tightly on Delagardelle.
So Dylan Vogel, just a freshman for the Jayhawk women. We've got her, I don't know if counterpart is the right word, probably not the right word, but brother, we'll just call it brother, in Landon Vogel, a senior for the boys.
Nick Moore on his second takeaway back-to-back. Defensively, he's making some things happen on rebounds and takeaways. Again, keep an eye on Nick Moore. I mentioned that in the pregame talk with Coach Smines. He's going to be a fun one to watch. You may not see him so much in the point total, but it's going to be those other columns that make some things happen.
He's your hustle guy, your do-it-all guy, and Treptow you're going to see in the point column a lot, as evidenced by that strong play to the rim.
8-3 is that score. Again, Hudson was in the championship game last year in Class 2A.
And you look at Treptow, I mean, that kid's standing, I'm showing 6'3". He looks taller than 6'3" up here. I'm 6'3". I feel like he's taller than me, but he's put on some good weight too. You know, he was our starting quarterback for the last 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
And you don't play quarterback without being able to take a hit, obviously. And so he's a good-looking player out there. He's going to get a lot of points this year, I think.
So Brennan Oshner and Wymore making their way from the bench to the floor. Yeah, you've got some guys on that playoff football team with Vogel and Moore and Brennan Oshner, your starting center. Treptow at quarterback.
And of course,
Paxton a receiver.
Oshner, a senior, right?
Oshner's a senior.
A senior for the Jayhawks. He's been in the program a while. And then, of course, Gage Weimar on the far side there, number 1, junior. So the only junior on the court right now, but he's a kid. I think we're going to see some valuable minutes out of him this year and maybe do some things that people aren't expecting.
Yeah, Oshner's a player down low that Joe said when we talked to him at half. He's a creative player.
Get in
Finds
there,
ways
Wymore.
to get the ball.
There it is.
And Wymore outside did what he needed to do and got the ball through the hoop.
Pretty shot by Wymore.
11-3. Forced to the basket. Nick Morris says no. Let's hold on a little bit. And Landon Vogel tries to push that through, misses it, but comes off of Hudson.
You know, Wymore probably doesn't want me to share this, but we spent a lot of times together on the weekend playing video games. It's kind of our thing.
With his family?
No, just
you and Gage?
Just Gage and I, yeah. He gets bored. He calls me up. He's like, "Hey, Baldwin, you want to come over and play some video games?"
Yeah, you got Pitfall. You going Pitfall?
He's probably not going to admit it if you ask him about it. But
your street cred just went up, didn't it?
It's just kind of our thing.
Yeah, the authorities will be calling tomorrow.
Truthfully, that's not true at all. I've been giving Gage a hard time since I first met him. Good kid. Good young man.
I should clarify, you're friends with his
There he
parents.
goes for another one. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Very good friends with him.
People are like, what is this guy's deal? He's wearing that funky shirt and he's hanging out with high school kids.
Nice hustle play by Gage Wymore.
And there's a level of quickness I'm seeing, and I had a conversation, I think with another parent, and we kind of watched during scrimmage, and you just don't get the same energy in a scrimmage as you're going to get in an actual game.
No. It just means more in a game. Hey, while we were talking about the Wymore name, I want to give out a shout out to my good friend Bob Wymore down in the great state of Florida, tuning in tonight to watch his grandson Gage. And if you don't know Bob, hell of a guy, always a good time, and I'm sure we'll see him around these parts sometime this winter. So,
Oshner with that ball. Right side, Moore gets it to Vogel. Approaching the 2-minute mark, quick first quarter. Jesup again the advantage, 11-3, leading scorer. Not really one specifically for Jesup when you spread out between Oshner, Vogel, and McCone. Actually, Wymore and McCone.
Boy, Wymore had Oshner cutting on the baseline there wide open. I don't think he saw him. That could have been easy, too, as Hudson turns it over. Unforced error for the Pirates as Paxton McCombs comes back in, as does Masteller, and that's going to send Oshner and we've got too many players. No, we don't. Who else went to the bench there? Moore.
.137 to go. Paxton McCone with that ball. High on that far left side. Mastetler looking for an opportunity. He will take a bounce, take a shot, goes up, and comes down.
That was unexpected. That's a great shot for a kid that size.
Just kind of stopped.
Man, if he can make that consistently, that's a weapon.
It has to be. Outside shot, no good. Chase it down towards the out of bounds mark. Treptow there to meet it. J-Hawks on their own, going back towards that south basket. Hip dribble, Treptow goes to the hoop, and he will draw the foul.
That foul going against Yoder. Yoder's first. What are you laughing about, Nate?
Your magnifying glass. Anthony and I just kind of looked at each other. Hey, you got your glasses for a magnifying glass.
Most people wear them on their face, but with these stupid headphones I got to wear, it just doesn't work well. They're progressives, and when I look down at the court, all I see is blurriness.
I guess that's the difference between you and your glasses.
I'm at a tough spot in my life, at least in regards to my eyes. Well, really in regards to a lot of things.
Under a minute to play, 13-3. Hudson had a three-pointer out of the gate and has just been in a drought. Jesup's been a good job of getting takeaways and forcing shots on Hudson, and Vogel will slow things down.
And Jesup, like you said, forcing a lot of takeaways. They're just playing really good defense, and they're so quick.
Treptow quick to that ball. Pulls up, takes a
foul.
shot, and will draw it. I believe that's Nestaby. That will be dinged for Hudson. It'll be the third team foul, I believe.
Nestaby, a 5'10" sophomore guard for the Pirates. One of the players probably didn't see much last year, given the talent that Hudson had on that team. And with that, we've got Grady Mosley, the 6'3" sophomore forward coming in, number 54, down low.
Yeah, number 4 out there, Kryl. That's the only senior on this team. One of the captains. Paxton McComb was eyeing the hoop, takes it back out. Wymore had it. Masteller with his shot. Treptow keeps following and can't get it to go as the buzzer sounds.
Treptow.
Jesup on a 13-3 advantage in the first quarter.
Treptow he drew the foul at the end there. Man, that was some quick twitch muscles he put on display as he was down. He was up, down, and back up in a millisecond. So he's going to shoot a pair here, see if he can make this 15-3.
Sure enough.
14, get one more here.
Drop it in.
And he'll get it. So nice job by the Jayhawks. Nate, you can't ask much more from them there. They played pretty darn impressive on both ends of the court. Going up 15-3 on the Pirates. And, coming into this game, we talked about didn't really know what we were going to see out of the Pirates. They lost so much from last year. And then, of course, with the Jayhawks as well, weren't completely sure what we were going to see from them, given the monumental loss in Jack and a couple other players there. But things are looking pretty good so far, Nate.
Yeah, so far 15-3 advantage. I want to say leading scorer. Treptow's got 4, but you got a 3 from McCone, you've got a 3 from Vogel, you got a 3 from Wymore. I think this might preview what this season is. It's not just going to be about one that you talked about,
right?
Like we maybe been used to seeing, but they're going to spread it out, and I think Joe's going to continue to see what his rotation is. We've seen Wymore and Oster, the bench players. Will he go a little deeper and look at bringing in Peyton Cameron, or looking at maybe even bringing in an Abe Sullivan? Kind of depends where we're at in the game, and kind of wants he see how they react to a game situation too.
Yep, nice board by Moore there. Another shot by Vogel, no good. But you said it. I mean, sometimes when you do have a player like Jack Miller who takes a lot of shots, as he should, the other guys simply as a result of that don't get as many shots, and so for the first time you're going to see some players that maybe come out of the woodwork here a little bit.
Nick Moore, talk about that speed again, able to race that ball down or chase that ball down and bring it back into play offensively. Vogel, little dish off to Paxton McCone, quick on the give, preventing that takeaway from Krill. And an outside, wow, that's a hard shot to make from that baseline, angled out from that backstop.
The catching that pass before the shot was as impressive. He had to go up for that one hand and bring it down, then go back up for the jump shot, like you said. That was a pretty athletic move.
A one-man protection defensively.
Yeah, you got to look up, Landon. You got Paxton right there.
He'll move it a little bit tighter. Looking to break Treptow open. He'll take that dribble left side. He's up as he crosses midcourt. Give to Masteller, top of the key. Put this offense into motion. Nick Moore not eyeing the basket, but eyeing a pass. Dish to McCone. He's fought defensively hard by Delagardelle, who gets the takeaway.
Nice defense by Vogel. And look at that effort. Nice job also by Landon Vogel helping the defender on the ground. Or I'm sorry, I guess that's not the defender. He's on offense. Helping up Tade Roberts. Again, Tade just a freshman for the Pirates, standing 6'5", good-looking kid, athletic.
Jesup on that zone defense right now. And Hudson has not scored since the early minute of this ball game.
Yeah, Paxton McCone going for the loose ball there. He's going to draw a foul. Or he's going to get the foul, I should say. As Gage Wymore checks into the game, Paxton will exit.
Hudson that far side, Nethesby. 6 minutes to play first half. We'll hear from head coach Jordan Conrad at halftime. Talk about the girls' contest earlier tonight against Hudson. Previewing to Denver on Friday.
More good defense by the Jayhawks, forcing yet another turnover.
Vogel slow things down just a smidge. Overhead high to Wymore. And they're going to say he took a little extra step in there. Hudson will have that. Hudson has taken a timeout. Joe Smines has not seen the need just yet. 17-3 the score. Outside shot, Delagardelle takes the 3 attempt. Treptow pulls down the board.
Quickly back the other way. The Jayhawks do not waste any time getting that ball up the court. But, that's kind of we've seen that from Coach Smines' teams ever since he came here. They like to push the pace. You're going to see a lot of threes, and you're always going to see good defenders as we see Coach Leonard take a timeout for the Pirates. I believe that was a full 30-second timeout. How's the popcorn, Anthony? Excellent as usual.
Well, you got. Did you wait till it was free and go down? Did you wait till it was free before you went and got some?
Yes, I did.
All right, sounds right. Good supporter of the Jesup Booster Club.
Yeah.
In kind.
I tell you, every year I think he's going to be a better person every year. Same old selfish.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'll spend a couple nights a week up with those bald guys. If Clark wasn't here, I'm not sure Anthony would show up. So,
Nice feed inside, but step out. Roberts on the baseline there. That's a tall order for a freshman to jump in at the varsity level right away like that.
Treptow takes an outside shot, no good, and another miss, and that is going to come down hard. Is that going to be a Mastetler, or is that going to be against Vogel? Yeah, that'll be against Mastetler. It'll be his first. Jesup second.
The senior with that ball, as you said, coming down hard. I was thankful there was not a head involved in that landing.
Abe Sullivan making his way in. He'll get some attention here to try and see what he can do on the floor, varsity-wise, for Jesup.
Abe Sullivan, number 24, a sophomore guard, standing 5'10".
He had to step up football season-wise when there were some injuries. He came in the defensive backfield.
Steal by
the receiving core.
Steal by Gage Wymore, pops 3, no good.
Oshner pulls that in.
Oh, good feed by Oshner.
Wymore was in the right place and able to get the shot up. Baseline, Sullivan, finger roll in, no good. Rebound to Hudson.
Pretty shot by Sullivan there. He's a kid that he's put in some work.
Roll in the paint. Wymore, forced that travel. Turn things over for the Pirates. Jayhawks will have it. 4:17 remain, first half.
Hey, good feed.
And Oshner, right place.
I don't even saw who fed that in there. I missed that. Was that Vogel?
Yeah, it was
Vogel
a quick
with the
Vogel, and there
assist.
was not much aggression defensively to try and prevent that play.
No.
And Brennan took
Oh,
exact
there's a charge.
Wow. Advantage of it, and Treptow will get called with a block.
That's a block. That's probably the right call. I don't think.
So Treptow, that'll be his first personal third for Jesup.
My initial thought was Kryle put his shoulder down, but I don't think he did.
Nethesby out to Krill, and there's a shot left side. Doesn't go for Backus, the sophomore. And that ball is loose on the ground, and the official says, let's do a jump possession. Jesup will have it. (19-3). Hudson has not scored since very early at the start of this game.
Del Gardell back in for the Pirates. He'll replace Nestby.
Treptow with it. There's Vogel. Spins, looking for somebody. Says he'll take it on his own. Oster tried to save it. Hudson will keep it.
Good hustle play by Oshner. I think he got caught up by his own foot there.
There's Backus. Jesup pulling out on that one-on-one pressure. Vogel really slows down Kleigel.
And there, the Hudson Pirates finally see some more points.
Double their score.
Come courtesy of Blake Delgardell.
Now Sullivan between the backboard and the rim. Treptow rebound, drops it in.
Really patient play for Treptow there.
19-6, that is his 8th point. Front of the rim, Treptow waits for it. Controls that dribble. Takes it on his own.
Ooh.
No look to Sullivan. Whistle before the shot.
Bodies flying everywhere. Sullivan says, dang, man.
He went up and didn't see what was underneath him when he came down. Mastetler, Vogel, Sullivan, Wymore, Treptow, all in the game.
And then you've got Roberts back into the game for the Pirates.
Dish into Sullivan. Treptow comes baseline, takes a jumper over the rim.
Wild shot for Treptow. Real close to a travel there.
Yeah, he was
Delgardell.
borderline and dragging that foot. Spinning the lane, Roberts gets a shot.
Overplayed on defense, resulting in points for the Pirates.
21-8. 2 minutes. Dish in, Mastetler, wait for it. Couldn't get the ease off the board, and ball will remain in the Jesup court.
Man, 2 beautiful passes. First by Vogel, sneaking one through into the lane to Treptow, and Treptow drops a dime to Mastetler.
High up top. Vogel sees a double team on zone. Speeding up that pass play a little bit. Mastetler out to Wymore, straight on 3, front of the rim. Sullivan pulls it down. He almost should have taken that back up, but he was going to dish it back out.
Absolutely unselfish play by Sullivan, but be selfish next time, Sullivan. That's your shot, buddy.
Mastetler pulls down that board. 90 seconds, first half. No look out to Landon Vogel, 3. That took some time going through, but it went in. Take him to 6 points. First to score, and now he's been the last to score so far.
Sullivan comes out. We've got Moore back into the game. Nice minutes by Sullivan. He's another one of those players, much like Moore, quick, smart kid, kind of in the right place at the right time, hard worker. maybe isn't going to have a ton of points for you, but I could see how he might go off and have a good number of points on any given night.
Treptow busts through a triple screen. Vogel on his own takes a jumper. That one is contested. Under a minute. Nethesby gets past Treptow. He's in the paint. Tucks, goes up, doesn't go. Masteller has it.
Nice job by Masteller getting that board right back up the court. Started that fast break, which resulted in an easy layup for Treptow.
Nice little spin outside. Ball is deflected on the shot. Down floor to Ryan Treptow. 3 attempts. Boom! 13 total first half points. Ryan Treptow, 29-8 the game. Nick Moore challenges on that defense, and we will have...
That's going to be on Nick Moore.
Foul on the floor.
That's a heck of a pull-up by Treptow in transition like that. Stop on a dime and knock down the triple.
But this gets to be that point of the game with the advantage you have. How hard do you run your horses this early in the season?
It's early in the season.
As far as the style of play you're getting into.
I mean, Jesup's got one speed. They're not going to slow it down. And plus, you're talking game one here. You want to give these guys all the minutes and opportunity they can to polish their game. And, we've already gone, what, three deep?
3 deep, yeah. Yeah, Wymore, Oshner, Sullivan off the bench. As Masteller will come out. He was the sophomore that started this game, along with McCone and Moore and Treptow, along with Vogel. 6.9 seconds. Second free throw does go in at that point for Delagardelle. It'll take him to 4 total. Jesup has prevented Hudson from getting to double figures as Oshner takes a 3, hits the top of the backboard.
Look
and
good.
Hudson
I thought that was going in until it didn't.
Had the line.
Yeah.
Or had the height anyway.
We didn't have the perspective over here. It looked good and a little bit too far south, I guess that would be.
Last second shot, backboard high. It's 29-9. And leading scorer, Ryan Treptow, 13 total points, couple from the free throw line. Vogel with 2 threes. Wymore with the 3. Paxton McCone in there as well. Masteller, he's got a basket. And we will have head coach Jordan Conrad coming up here very shortly. On the Hudson side of things, Delagardelle with 4, Krill with 3, Roberts with 2, 29-9, and they scored early in the game, and it took a long time, Luke, before they scored again.
Yeah, early and often by the Jayhawks, and then just early for the Hudson Pirates. So a bit of a mismatch here. Jesup just playing at kind of a frantic pace, but actually very much under control for them, and their defense is a bit much for the Pirates at this point. So looks good first game. Like I said earlier, you can't ask much more. There's a few things you need to clean up in there that are going to bite you when you play a team that maybe has a little bit more skill. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this off and hand it over to Coach Conrad.
Talk about his headset, that is. So he will pull the headset off, and we will bring in head coach Jordan Conrad as his squad tonight unfortunately goes down to a loss, 38-34 to the Hudson Pirates. And coach coming in 1-1 in the season, adjustments that need to be made. This is the time to do it, not in February.
Absolutely, yeah. It was, that's a good Hudson team too. They're ranked for a reason, and they've got some girls that have started for 4 years, and they've got everybody back from last year. So, they're just kind of continuing over from what they accomplished last year.
So when you look at this was starting, and you you really lost 2 players last year from that squad. A lot of experience coming into this season. But when you have a lot of experience, you kind of determine who's playing, how long, where they playing. And it took a little bit to maybe find the rotation that maybe was really gelling, and you found that in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we have a lot coming back of players, but a lot of young faces still that are playing a lot of minutes, and some new faces. I think what's great about our group is I think we can win a couple of different ways. We can go really big on teams and make it tough to match up, and I think we saw in the fourth quarter we can go small and try and speed teams up and play in transition. So we got a couple of different ways we can play. It's just finding the right balance of mixing those 2 styles together.
So talk about getting out of the gates. You took a quick lead, 8-4, second quarter. The wheels kind of fell off there for a little bit, and it was a turnover battle who was going to have less turnovers, I feel like. And it was a struggle for the Jayhawks.
Yeah, the second quarter was real tough for us. I don't think we only scored probably 2 points. The first quarter we did a better job of kind of handling pressure and getting ourselves into some sets that we scored out of. And we didn't score out of all of them, but we got a lot of good looks around the rim, it felt like. A couple good post-up opportunities that we just didn't quite finish. Limited our turnovers. We were able to run a few sets that we did some good things out of. And then the second quarter, we obviously didn't do as good a job of that. We turned it over too many times. We would have liked to maybe pressure them a little more earlier in the game, but when you're turning it over all the time and not scoring it, it's tough to get into any sort of pressure stuff. So we were able to get into that later, but the third quarter was better. Still turned it over. Our initial defense was really good all night. Honestly, I thought. I'll be interested to go back and see how many points they had in transition off of our turnovers and how many other points were second chance points, because it felt like whether we were in our zone or in our man, they had a tough time doing much offensively with their initial sets. So I think we got to take that as a positive from this, that our defense kept us in it for a long time. We've got to find ways to win games where we only give up 38 points to really good teams.
Right.
We're capable of scoring, far more than that.
Talking to me about what was Coach saying at halftime and in those breaks to try and get the ship steered in the right direction?
Yeah, we talked a lot about, trying to value the basketball and, making sure we knew where shooters were. I thought we did that for the most part. Maybe, only once or twice we lost a shooter where we didn't want to give up a look that they got. But other than that, we did a good job, and we just, couldn't quite handle pressure and, take away those second chances. Those were our emphasis even before the game was, handling pressure, limiting our turnovers. I think we had over 30 tonight, kind of unofficially, which is way too many for our group. We're much better than that. We got to want the basketball in some of those situations, kind of go and get into people. I think at times we had some people kind of run away with it, but we've already talked about some things. I've already went through some things.
Pressure from Treptow. And just off the fingertips of Bell, that one is coming fast.
Yeah, good look inside by Roberts. Maybe a little bit too much snooze on it, but good find inside.
One of these days, we'll have to get somebody up from the Building a Legacy fundraising program that's happening with a softball, baseball complex. They raised quite a bit of money so far.
Yeah, what are they up to now?
It's like 600,000 or something like that. I saw they had an update on the board here.
Yeah, I've heard a couple rumors, but I don't know. Don't know what's real and what's.
I'm surprised they're going to name it the Baldwin Sports Complex. Congratulations to you for stepping up.
That would be very surprising, given that I didn't play.
Is that a different Baldwin?
Baseball.
Yeah, there it is. $613,050 on their way to $2 million.
Outstanding. Although Dad, he did coach baseball for a bunch of years here at Jesup, but no, there have been no substantial gifts from the Baldwin family. I can tell you that. I would love to. I'd love to be able to. I will certainly donate to that.
Outside shot is missed. Foul is drawn. That will send Mastetler to the free throw line. Again, Mastetler coming in as a sophomore. He's playing fresh soft last year, and then they pulled him up to JV, and then they pulled him up to varsity.
So Jayhawks, the lead they had at the end of the first half has shrunk a bit. They still have the 34-22 advantage, but the Pirates of Hudson, under the direction of Coach Leonard, playing much better basketball in the second half here, both on defense and offense. They're also getting some shots to drop that weren't going down for them in the first half.
So if you're joining us, we were offline for a little bit, but Anthony said keep talking, doing the game, and he would take care of the rest.
Oh, so
somebody tripped over the internet cord back here and disconnected us. We're going to blame, we're going to blame somebody.
How long was that?
Since before halftime, or before towards the end of halftime is what we're estimating.
Oh, awesome! We just ran our mouths that whole time.
Well, Anthony says you can bring it back. So,
oh, I don't know what that means.
Sure, whatever he says, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, if we weren't here for a while, folks, Anthony Baugh.
Yeah, I'm sure. How many texts did you get, Anthony? 3. Okay. All right.
Shoot, I probably got a few too. My phone blows up and I wasn't even paying attention. No, nothing here.
Yeah, they're like, thank God I can take a break for a while. I don't have to listen to those guys.
I like Masteller's shoes. I don't.
Are those 2 pairs of shoes that he bought and mixed them together? Or is that how they?
I mean, potentially, but you can get about anything when it comes to shoes these days. But I wonder if those are Dwayne.
Ethan Wyatt was ahead of his time.
I wonder. Yeah, he was. I wonder if those are Dwayne Wade shoes. They kind of remind me of.
Deep shot for Hudson. That one's going to get missed by Dilla Gardell. He's the leading scorer on this team with 7. 2:07 remain, third quarter.
Way of Wade, I believe, is the name of that shoe. I don't know if that's what his are, but I think that's the brand, Way of Wade.
Only if there was a way to figure that out.
Yeah. I don't know how we would do that.
Yeah. It's probably not up to date in the
good
encyclopedia, though, I suppose.
A little long for Masteller.
Here comes Krill, left side, challenged by Moore and Wymore, and continue with the pressure, and Roberts, he is able to get one through.
Good patience by the freshman there, gets a little pump fake, gets the defense up, and then goes back up. That's going to be a foul from Nesby.
Oshner coming in. Masteller will have a seat. Again, 11-point difference. It was 29-9 at halftime.
Right idea by Oshner there. Nice little dump to Treptow. Treptow took one off the foot, though. Took the ball off the foot, I should say. But steals it right back.
Treptow dunks it in. Brought that one through, caught the fingertips right at the end there. 20 total for Ryan.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting that. I don't.
Just kind of floated up there.
Yeah. Well,
and Nick Moore was going to it, got hacked, but they don't say a foul, but a big 3 on the far side goes in.
Nick's like, really? It worked out well for the Jayhawks. We ended up getting a triple out of it anyway, and now they're going to go ahead and get Oshner with seemingly the light foul inside, got him with the body, but man, didn't it seem like Moore just got the hammer dropped on him down here?
Yeah, looking for something. He comes off a little frustrated. Bring in Jude Sullivan, or Abe Sullivan.
Jude Sullivan, I believe, still rehabilitating the shoulder. He injured in football.
Yeah, he was going to wrestle this year. I don't know if he followed through on that.
Well, I don't think he can.
I would have advised probably not to, but
yeah, I think he's rehabilitating and still getting his workout in. From what I understand, he runs every morning. He's in the National Guard as well, so busy young man.
Landon Vogel will slow this down. No, actually, just less than a second or two. Actually,
Jump ball.
I was going to say the difference we had in the shot clock, game clock, but
It's going to stay with the
that will
Jayhawks.
shut off.
That's an awfully quick jump ball.
Vogel's looking at Wymore. He can't get open. Has to get to Treptow. Power left side, 6 seconds.
Yeah.
And Oshner
No,
takes a hard pick.
that cannot be against Oshner. Yeah, okay. I was going to say that kid lowered his shoulder. That is not a basketball move by Krill. That was more of a hand me the football and let me do work.
Well, I was trying to check and see, watch the replay of it, but
No, it was offensive for sure.
still in action, less than 3 seconds. Hudson trying to make a shot happen and knocks the cover off of the HVAC unit over on the far side as that ball came flying.
Well, let's hope that didn't screw up our HVAC system again, because this summer and early in the year it was about 40 below zero in here for the longest time.
Still in action. I keep waiting for us to get Eric Maston over there, see what kind of skills he's got to get that fixed up over there. I keep waiting for someone to hit the light switch, which has been exposed all these years in this
Yeah, you don't.
towards the near side here. I'm like, we're going to matter of time before we bust a switch and the lights go off.
Yeah, we did in volleyball. A switch got hit over here and turned the scoreboard off. Fortunately, it doesn't. The score is still on the box. Got some replay.
Did you make a replay actually work this time? So we're going to watch this replay that Anthony's bragging about to see. Put that into motion. We've only had this for 7 years, and Anthony's finally figured out the replay. Has to get to Treptow. Power left side, 6 seconds.
Yeah. He got straight trucked.
Yeah. 7:55 just underway here in this last quarter of competition. Hudson and Jesup. 41-24.
Oshner is a tougher kid than I am. Well, I'm not a kid for one, but
Outside shot. Roberts gets that in outside. 8 points total for him.
jump ball.
Jesup in that third quarter.
Nice pass by Landon Vogel to Masteller.
They're playing well together.
Masteller's come a long ways over the year. You know, you mentioned earlier he's put a lot of work in the off season, and it's showing.
There's Krill, comes right side. Hudson outscored Jesup in that third quarter, 15-12. Krill, a total of 7 points. Jesup wanting to extend further out.
Treptow
And
three
Treptow
got it.
finds it. He was confident in taking that shot, move him up to 23 total points.
Good defense by Paxton McCone.
Ball gets nicked away. Moore,
Look up.
he finds it. Now Vogel looking on his own. No look to Mastetler in the paint. Waits for his defender to jump down.
Little drop step reverse. You got yourself an open shot there.
And just wait on the give and go. Roberts came in the lane when he needed to. And coach wants a timeout. We'll take a full, are we looking at taking a full timeout, or Hudson is actually taking a timeout? They'll take a full timeout. 46-30 is the score where we're sitting tonight here in Jesup. Like we said, our next broadcast coming up on Friday as the Denver Cyclones will come to town. And that is still not a non-conference game, or it's a conference game, but not a conference game.
Right.
Not a pod game, I should say.
Nickel East game, not a pod game. So
is that a Nickel Central?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good point. That's changed, didn't it?
So we'll see. We'll see how they can get ready before that game. And again, getting into this schedule change, and I think that's what they're really probably in dire need of. And Coach Conrad talked about this at halftime when we just talked to him. You know, they got practice started about a week later. Thanksgiving was a late start, and you're not getting your first games in really till we get into December, which usually we've got a couple in before we hit December.
Yeah, it takes a while to get everybody moving together, and but here we are. They're looking good tonight. Hey, Nate, what's an astronaut's favorite meal of the day?
Is it launch?
Launch. You got it.
You too, if you come to the gymnasium here in Jesup, can get your joke of the day and learn that it's National Roof Over Your Head Day.
What is that even?
Just be happy you have one, Luke.
Oh, okay.
Mastiller can't find an outlet. He's going to take it to Paxton McCone. His three doesn't fall. Treptow aggressively trying to pull that back in on a possession. And Vogel's going to knock that ball loose.
You know what I was going to say before Coach Leonard called the timeout there, and the reason he did call the timeout is the Jayhawks, per usual, are at their best when able to fast break, and they were on a run there where they were getting one after another, and, which, like I said, resulted in the timeout. Dell Goodell with another three. He leads all scorers for the Pirates with 10, and I should say he is tied with Roberts right now for leading the Pirates.
Stetler getting more comfortable in the lane. It takes an extra step, and that'll take it back to the Pirates.
Almost got it out of there in time.
5:07 remains in this game.
Getting tired, Nate.
Well, it's past your bedtime, probably.
Yeah.
Well, it's past your bedtime, probably.
Not getting any younger.
I hadn't noticed.
I know. I do have these
no vision problems.
Well, I've got these youthful good looks that some people don't realize how old I am.
Yeah, I would imagine. That's probably a daily problem for you, isn't it?
It is.
All the filters you have on your Zoom cameras and things like that.
It's a heavy burden to carry.
It's amazing you're able to pull yourself up the stairs to get up here to the patio. It's hard to fight gravity. Paxton McCone with that. Vogel, Moore, he needs
Get
some
in
points.
there.
He goes off the rim. Treptow tries to push that back into possession for Jesup.
Somebody's got to
There's
pick up
Krill.
ball.
Touch off, Roberts, no good. They shot and scattered back to defense. 46-35.
McCone considered the three. Wisely pulled it out.
Nick Moore. Again, this team is finding depth in all places, and Moore with his first basket, and might as well make it a three to make it 49-35.
Nick Moore sporting the stash.
It's by the time we get to the end of the year, if he's going to commit to that, that's going to be in strong character, I think.
Maybe, I don't know. Depends with kids this age, Once they hit a certain level, it just doesn't get any thicker. But he looks like he can probably grow one.
He's committed at least to it.
Yeah, I like it. Stashes are back in, right? I see a lot of them.
Oh, you figured out through the replay, huh?
Are the folks at home seeing the replays? Awesome.
Maybe you can get us a monitor, Anthony. We can actually watch what you're watching.
He was pretty proud of it, though.
I know. He was like, hey, look what I did. And he's like, oh, you guys don't have a screen.
Giggled like a little schoolgirl over here. Nothing against little schoolgirls. That probably not supposed to say that sort of thing.
No, we already talked about that. That's a no-no. Like playing video games with high school kids. 4 minutes to go in this game.
Nice defense by Oshner.
Really trying to protect that paint. Vogel, the aggressor on that far side, I think, or did they go with Oshner on that call?
I'm thinking Vogel, but don't quote me on that. No, they did get Oshner.
So Oshner in the scorebook, he's got 2 fouls, 2 points.
Slid down, had his hands up, but feet were moving. Props to
2 fouls, 2 points.
The Iowa Hawkeyes tonight, pulling out the win against Northwestern on a last-second deep shot by Nix. The Iowa Hawkeyes tonight. And do we have ISU props tonight? Do they play tonight, Nate?
Well, I saw something come across my phone, but
I don't even know if they're
I was
playing
focused
tonight.
on our game here, but women are playing tonight, looks like.
How are they doing?
They won against somebody. I know that's very informative. It's very informative. That's all I can tell you. You know,
I'll tell you here. Let's pull it up.
Let's see whose internet's a little bit quicker.
We got
this internet courtesy of Heartland Technology. We'll see what kind of speeds we've got rocking here. 3:33 remains.
When we get to the Big 12, we've got Iowa State with the win over USC Upstate. 92-35, a real barn burner.
Yeah, everybody's life's been changed now knowing that information.
Hey, people want to know what's going on with their teams, right?
Tonight, if you're tuning in, unfortunately, Jesup women lost by 2 to Hudson. Boys in the driver's seat to get their first win of the season, their first game of the season, as they got out of scrimmage season. Nick Moore sees a shot blocked. He should have just went to the rim on that one. Hudson tries to turn the other end, and Krill going to take an extra step.
I was, for a second there, I didn't think we were going to get that call, but thank goodness the official on the far side saw the obvious.
Dish to Treptow. Moore. Now to Vogel, baseline up off the board, no good. Treptow follows up.
Really nice unselfish play by the Jayhawks.
I was going to say Treptow's he's just trying to get that rock to his teammates.
Yeah.
He only scored right there because he had the opportunity to. Right place, right time. Comes down off that rebound, just toes off the baseline. Hard pass from Paxton McCone taken away. Nethesby has it, and a foul is called. Hard pass from Paxton McCone taken away.
Look of disbelief. I'm not sure why. It was. You can't put 2 hands around a guy. Look of disbelief. I'm not sure why. I don't know if he's just kind of trying to play that off or. Can't put 2 hands around a guy.
That'll be his second personal, and what'd you say? That was intentional call?
Yeah, they call this intentional.
What'd you say that was intentional call?
In hindsight, I think that's why he was in disbelief that they're calling it intentional, but it was pretty clearly intentional.
2 missed opportunities for Nethesby, and it will remain Hudson's ball at that south end of the floor. Here at Jesup tonight. It will remain Hudson's ball at that south end of the floor.
Mosley back in, the sophomore forward. Down low for the Pirates. Oh, another charge. No? Okay, yeah. I'm used to a very dramatic charge call, which I'm not seeing tonight, so it's like leaves me guessing for a moment.
So Nick Moore draws that foul. That's the 3rd personal against Nethesby. 3rd for the team. Nick Moore draws that baseline. Oshner looks out. Vogel wide open. Drops another 3.
Good feed by Oshner, man. Putting in some.
Oh, wow. 4 3-pointers for Landon Vogel tonight. 12 points.
Nearly stolen by Moore. Does commit the foul, but
4 3-pointers for Landon Vogel.
I don't know what that kid's vertical leap is, but he was up there. But anyway, Osher's had some really nice passes tonight.
Third personal against Nick Moore. Krill has that ball on that far side. He'll take the shot attempt in a smooth 3. Give him credit for that one. 10 points for him. Hudson, 3 players and 10 points. Treptow getting covered tightly defensively, keeping him out of that play, but they didn't need him. They found a way. 14 total now for Vogel.
Nice little floater for Vogel.
They didn't need him. They found a way. He was able to reduce himself to just do a 2-pointer. 90 seconds.
You don't want all the glory. There's a foul.
And you don't blame Hudson for being in that situation right now. We're trying to slow this game down, pushing people to the free throw line. Jesup not in the bonus situation yet. Pushing people to the free throw line. Jesup
not had a foul to get. I feel like there's been a flurry of fouls here.
Defense spread the floor for Hudson.
Still pressing. Not giving up. Got to give
for Hudson.
The Pirate. Ooh, good look.
Oshner came from that outside. Forces an outside up, doesn't go. Or a reversal shot. 60 seconds. Forces an outside up, doesn't go. Straight on 3, Yoder. Reversal shot. 60 seconds. Paxton persistent, gets that ball covered by Jesup and a whistle blown.
Del Gardell with the foul.
Persistent, gets that ball covered
That's
by
5
Jesup,
fouls, so 2 shots from here on out.
With foul.
That's 4 on Del Gardell.
5 fouls, so 2 shots from here on
Not
out.
a huge issue with 51 remaining.
McCone, free throw in. He had 3 early on. He's up to 4 now. He had 3 early on.
Not a high-scoring night for Paxton, but did a nice job controlling the ball. Made some nice passes. Got a, I don't know where he sits assist-wise, but very trustworthy with the ball tonight.
Yeah, you can look at that scorebook right now and see Ryan Treptow with 25 points. But he did not get there on his own.
No.
Everybody on that floor contributed. Plus give credit to Wymore and Mastetler and Sullivan coming off the bench to contribute as well. Under 20. Shot clock off. Jesup will go to 1-0 on the season. Hudson will begin their 24-25 campaign at 0-1. 57-38 is our final here in Jesup. Leading scorer Ryan Treptow, 25 points, 14 for Vogel, 5 for Mastetler, 4 for McCone, 3 for Moore. Wymore had 3, 2 for Oshner in there. Leading scorer for Hudson, you had 3 of them actually. Roberts, Delagardelle, and Krill all had 10. But kind of a preview of what we're going to see this year for this team, Luke.
Yeah, good solid win for the Jayhawks. They pretty much handled business in the first half. Came out in the second. Hudson tested them a little bit. Got after them. Narrowed that lead to 12 points or something at one point. Jesup stretches it back out to nearly 20. But, yeah, like you said, I think just typical Jesup, love to run and gun. We are our best when we're getting the ball out in a fast break situation. So 1-0.
Next broadcast is coming up Friday. We will have a boy-girl doubleheader right here on the Jayhawks Sports Network on YouTube and on Facebook as we host the Denver Cyclones. For Luke Baldwin and our crew of on-site producer Anthony Baugh and camera operator Eric Clark, and Nate Claiborne from the upper patio here in Jesup. Boys win tonight 57-38. Watch this game again on replay on our Jesup Sports Network.
Jayhawks
I can read
Sports Network.
This is my first time. Our Jayhawks Sports Network Facebook page and our YouTube channel. This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology. Music courtesy of bensound.com. Tune in Friday for the antics of everybody up here. Who knows what will happen? Everybody have a good night. Go Jayhawks.